In this module, we'll discuss the capabilities of Versa Analytics, including how to use the various dashboards to view statistics, trends, and log information collected from devices in the network. The Versa Analytics user interface can be accessed directly through the Analytics tab on the Versa Director user interface. Versa Analytics also has its own user interface, which can be accessed directly on the HTTPS port 8443. Versa Analytics is defined in Versa Director as a connector. You can define multiple analytics hosts as connectors, and you can specify which analytics node to send logs to. For example, you can send SD-WAN logs to one connector and firewall logs to another connector. When analytics is configured in a cluster, each individual host will be listed in Director as a dropdown. All nodes in a cluster will have access to the same dataset and will eventually have the same views. The Versa Analytics dashboards can be viewed based on the organization. On the left is the list of dashboards. At the top is the organization filter. Next to the organization filter is the date and time range filter. The individual dashboards show the top entries in each of the categories. These top views are based on the information in the time range specified in the date and time filter. You can view the statistics from a specific appliance. This shows all relevant information about a branch. Clicking through the tabs shows various levels of details. Some graphs allow you to click and view further details. Always remember that this is historical data, so you can go back and view historical information about each device. There are different options to change the display metrics. Every graph can be plotted on a variety of charts. Graphs can also be rearranged on the screen. However, custom arrangements are not persistent after a logout. The charts and graphs can be exported directly as PNG, JPEG, PDF, and SVG vector image formats. Time series graphs can be zoomed in by highlighting an area to zoom in further. Hovering over a graph shows the data points. Trending tools are available to help predict the trajectory of a data range. The top left half of the panel is the dashboard list. Each dashboard displays usage statistics related to the dashboard type. Network services are divided into three main categories of SD-WAN, security, and system information. Each site can be viewed with more specific detail. Some graphs, such as the SLA metrics, have a tabular representation of the same data. Each tabular data can also be exported to CSV or PDF or copied to the clipboard. There's information such as top site usage as well as a list of branches in the tenant. Similar views are available for availability, connections, and heat maps. Clicking on a branch from the branch list expands to the branch level view. Clicking on an appliance from some of the graphs also expands to the branch level. Once you enter the branch view, a host of new tabs are available. When a feature is not activated on a branch configuration, then the related graph will show no data. For example, if there is no QoS or traffic monitoring configured, then the relevant tabs will be blank. Each unique endpoint or IP address on the LAN is considered a user. If an authentication profile is configured, IP address to user mapping happens automatically and the usernames are displayed automatically. Whenever you see a magnifying glass with a plus sign in the middle, if you click on that icon, it will show you more details about that entry. The security statistics view is broken down into several categories. First, there's applications, then risk, productivity, application families, and application subfamilies. These attributes are provided in the security package and are based on industry standards and are not Versa proprietary. There are detailed security logs available that are displayed in different security dashboards. Risk ranking is from 1 to 5, where 1 is good and 5 is highly risky. Productivity is a similar view where an application is ranked on how useful or productive it is to business. This is also ranked from 1 to 5, where 5 is highly productive and 1 is not productive. For example, Facebook will be a non-productive application, while Salesforce is a highly productive application. Risk, productivity, family, and subfamily are metadata tags which are stored against the application signature in the Versa operating system application database. The Systems dashboard displays appliance-level health statistics. Like everything else in Versa Analytics, this data can be displayed over a date or time range. The Logs menu is displayed below the Dashboards menu on the left side. The Logs section is divided into the Fault Monitoring and the Event Logging systems. The Fault Monitoring system logs alarms in response to a fault in the network, such as an SD-WAN path down alarm. These alarms have various levels of severity and are cleared once the error is corrected. The Event Logging also describes traffic as it flows through the Versa appliance. Unlike the dashboard, which gives statistics and counter information, such as the number of hits on a rule or bandwidth on an interface, the logs are triggered per event when a pre-configured rule is hit. The log entry would describe all of the attributes of the flow and the action that was performed as the rule was hit. By default, only statistics logging is enabled on the Versa operating system. To send full logging information to Versa Analytics, the security logging must be enabled. Logging is then enabled per rule. By default, no logs are sent to Analytics. Most features support a log export function, or LEF, that allows the logging when a rule is hit. Additional alarms can be configured in the Versa operating system to enrich the default alarms reported to Analytics. Log collectors can export logs in syslog and IPFix format. However, the Versa operating system devices all send their log information to Versa Analytics in the IPFix format. Log entries can be filtered and searched. Complex search queries can be crafted using a combination of search fields. You can also sort the logs. Much like the dashboard, it's possible to search logs based on the tenant and date range. Because of the large volume of log information, logs are paginated and the size of the pages can be adjusted. The logs can also be copied to the clipboard or directly exported into a CSV file. When analyzing logs in Versa Analytics, it's important to know the meaning of the log entries. The definition of the logs are listed in the Admin, Configuration, Settings, Data Configuration, Search Data Retention configuration. The image shows an example of a log message. The key fields vary slightly between different types of logs. There are many log types that can be triggered as part of a single flow depending on the configuration of the appliance and its service chain. For example, a single flow may be authenticated using LDAP, passed through the Next-Gen Firewall antivirus module, and then hit a firewall access rule before being processed by the SD-WAN. At the same time, traffic monitoring is logging the flows. In this case, we can see that a single flow will trigger auto event log, AV log, access log, SD-WAN flowmon log, and finally flowmon log. To make sense of this, Versa Analytics will automatically correlate all the logs and display them as a single entry in the logs. If the zoom button is clicked, then the constituent logs are displayed. The screenshot shows a single flow that was processed by the firewall, the flow monitoring, and the SD-WAN flow. In this section, we discussed the Versa Analytics dashboard and the features and functionality of the dashboards. We discussed various components of the dashboard, including the SD-WAN, security, and systems dashboards. We discussed Versa log types, how to search, filter, and sort logs, and log correlation.